continue. Let's talk to Nick Liuzza. I had a chance to talk to Nick Liuzza off the air today, and so much insane things are happening. But
he is the Chief Executive Officer of Beeline Holdings Incorporated. Of course, their ticker symbol is BLNE.
And I say Liuzza because I know somebody named Ronnie Liuzza. You know Ronnie,
the old
Liuzza,
reporter,
our old traffic girl.
Yes,
he's Nick Liuzza.
Oh, okay.
But it's an honest mistake.
But he's a cool guy. He'll roll with it. Nick joins us once again here on the Big Biz Show. Nick, how are you, my friend?
Hey, man, love the energy on the show. I wish I was bike riding 13 miles today. That sounds
no kidding. You know, it's funny because you and I were talking about the future of AI and mortgage. Before we get to that, I want to definitely get to that today. But for the people, the people who don't know who Beeline Holdings is, talk about what you guys are a fintech mortgage lender. And a SaaS platform. And you built your platform for millennials and Gen Z, which we'll also talk about just a little bit. But talk about really how you guys are changing the face of mortgages and such, because this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, look, there's 75 million millennials out there, and they're making a huge impact in the market. They already represent 40%. And, you know, we're building tech, we're building a brand to address their unique needs, because those guys grew up with these phones in their pockets when they're 6 or 7 years old, and the mortgage industry is anything but that. So how are we different? Well, our platform is, 6-7 minutes to get certainty around a mortgage application. It's built for millennials. But the most important piece on why we're different than the larger lenders is that if we can't qualify you for a conventional mortgage, which is a Freddie Fannie mortgage, then we'll shift you to a non-qualified mortgage, which in some cases for the gig economy are easier to get approved for. And if you're with one of the other larger lenders, it's game over if you can't qualify for a conventional mortgage.
Well, Nick, we hear millennials day in and day out. I can't afford to live in the city that I'm working. I'm still having to live with my parents. I'm still paying off student loans. I'm paying off this. So you come along and you've got to be this, you're the unicorn they've been looking for forever. Say, hey, I can finally try to buy my first house.
Yeah, go to our website. There's a couple of testimonials where you literally will see a woman crying because she gets her first home she's been trying to get for 4 or 5 years, I think she said, and she couldn't really find it. That she couldn't get approved until she found Beeline.
Wow.
We're not the only one offering these type of mortgages, but we're reaching a wider audience through our distribution, through our marketing, and the fact that we're putting up a flag saying, hey, Mr. Millennial, we got something for you if the other lenders are denying you.
So Nick, let's talk about that AI portion of this thing that you and I were talking about earlier, because there's a confluence of AI now, and especially with your emphasis as a SaaS platform as well. Talk about the AI function and how that helps for not both sides, helps with lenders and borrowers.
Yeah, listen, just like everywhere else, AI is changing the complexion of the whole world, right? In terms of mortgage, we were one of the first to come out with an AI chatbot. Now that chatbot is not only reactional, but it's also proactive. And so we've also built our own proprietary QC and underwriting product. So where this thing is headed is you'll go through an application after hours, 24/7, 365. And at the end of the application, our chatbot will pine in and say, hey, Sully, man, I see we're missing your 2024 bank statement and your 2024, tax return. If you can supply that to me right now, then I'll be able to underwrite your mortgage right here on the spot and give you certainty as to whether or not I can give you a mortgage. Yes, it's pending appraisal. Yes, it's pending title, but this is where we're headed. We're headed with making real-time decisions 24/7, because we are already seeing millennials shop after hours, on weekends, on Christmas Day. And by being able to provide certainty in real time using AI is a step that the mortgage industry is not currently offering to its borrowers.
Nick Liuzza, the CEO of Beeline Holdings Incorporated. Their ticker symbol is BLNE. Website, more important, is makeabeeline.com.
That's right.
Nick, can you tell us a little bit about this unique fractional equity product that you're launching?
Yeah, just like we're addressing the millennials, 75 million millennials, you're also seeing that baby boomers are growing and living longer. Look, Mick Jagger's 82 years old. How in the hell is how is Keith Richards still alive, right? How the hell is that guy still alive?
Keith Richards was dead.
He's not. He's alive and kicking. He's alive and kicking, right? And so it just goes to show you that if those guys can stay alive, people that are running out of their retirement income and they want to stay in their homes. So what options do they have? You can do a reverse mortgage, but that's punitive, and you lose in most cases, many cases, you lose your home when you pass away, and you can't pass it on to your heirs. In many cases, you can't get a cash out refi because you don't have a job. And Freddie Fannie requires you in most cases to have a job in order to qualify. Not all, but in many, most cases. We come along with a fractional sale of equity, combining the blockchain along with the real estate chain, and allow consumers to sell a portion of their home to create liquidity for themselves in order to, receive a lump sum of cash. The beauty of it is that it's a pure equity transaction. There's no monthly payments, there's no interest, and it's not due until you either sell the home or the home transfers property. And so we're closing 5 of those transactions this week. We'll close another 5 next week, another 20 in November, another 30 in December. Jeez. And this is all part of our test pilot. Next year, we'll be live with this product to the world, and we'll start taking indications of interest or allowing people to go through our point of sale next week to kind of queue themselves up for next year. So we're really excited about this product.
The thing that you talked about the very first day, and something I want to talk about again is look at, since you guys are looking at other demographics now, and I mean which I mean the addressable market obviously for something like this is exponentially bigger because of AI. Because let's face it, you've got AI based appraisals now too. I mean, look at the average mortgage loan takes what, about 14 days to 60 days? It's somewhere in there depending on your credit and depending on the situation.
Look, we're in the 14-day category. There are many lenders that take 60 days, and we're getting ready to get into a favorable rate environment. What that means is that the entire mortgage process is going to slow down.
Can you imagine having lower interest rates, the slog of refinances, but now if you guys come in with an AI opportunity that closes loans in, I mean, look, this is me saying this, because Mike and I have been in radio and television for a long time, and the reason I say that is because remember how many times you and I had to talk about mortgage endorsements?
All
in a commercial break.
Yep.
Me and Mike, here I'm talking about ABC Mortgage, and we'd say things like, if it's not in the twos, come refinance with Kevin Lyons or so on and so forth, and they would get it done. We could get it done in 21 days. That's going to be a lifetime coming up, isn't it? Processing times are going to turn around with technology, the kind of technology you guys have, right?
Absolutely. It's already happening. Now, some of the legacy lenders that are a little slower to adopt and that aren't building proprietary tech stacks like we are, they are going to be reliant on whatever software they're licensed in, and they won't be able to be as productive as a company like Beeline, who's building its own tech. And, when you build your own tech, it's the last 10% that matters, right? You can't get the last 10% when you license software. So absolutely, man. I mean, in the world we're getting ready to get into, he who closes fastest will get more market share. That's a fact.
Last of all, so we're in fourth quarter, believe it or not, and now I know and from talking to you, you're already planning for first and second quarter of next year. What are you looking most forward to here for the next 6 months with you guys?
We're looking forward to the fact that the market's going to normalize. And then when the market normalizes, there's more supply and demand for transactions. And so the fact that we can now come out with our AI and close loans faster in conjunction with a product that no other mortgage lender has that I know of in our fractional sale of equity product that's not tied to interest rates. I'm going to repeat that. It's not tied to interest rates. So we effectively are one of the only mortgage lenders, maybe the only, that has an equity product that has no bearing on where rates are, that's addressing a need. So now we're addressing the millennials, and we're addressing the baby boomers. So we're quite excited about the fact that, no, we're not a boutique lender, but we look a little boutique-ish because we're slicing up these demographics and meeting their needs with products that they need.
We got a surprise to come with Nick. We're gonna see a lot more of him. I'm making him come in the studio. I talked to him about it this morning. I'm making him come in and spend a day here with us, buddy. Thanks so much for stopping by.
I'm gonna bring you some jambalaya and some beignets from New Orleans, all right?
You got it, buddy. There you
Nick
go.
Liuzza, Chief Executive Officer of Beeline Holdings, Inc., their ticker symbol BLNE. Big things coming from him. All right, keep it right here. Much more to come with the Big Fish Show. Do not go anywhere.